talking about?
You asked me about the Bell South and its relevance.
Let's talk about what we're doing for Bell South. Oh, and yeah.
Do we want to do that again?
Did we just finish? Did we finish it?
I don't know if we finished it, but
I don't think we finished it. Oh yeah, we did because we ended right at the end of the tape.
Yeah, I think we
whatever you want.
Maybe we can talk a little bit about, like, we're talking about the metrics, as far as, like, whatever you think the good metrics are that you guys are measuring distribution channels by. We're just remembering that we're not using POPs, and talk about maybe some ISP agreements, the big names we signed.
I can do all that.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff, and who we're targeting for the big guys in the future.
Hey, let me ask you one question. You will not. Are you want to turn that off?
I want you to tell me about what you guys experienced. I want you to make it real.
What have we done this year?
I want to know that this is a real thing.
We've closed absolutely nothing, and we've been down the street to eat sandwiches there. No, just kidding. Starbucks. My group to date has closed somewhere between about 17 and 20 distribution deals, which I'm ecstatic about, totally enthralled. We've definitely built a channel, and we're managing all those accounts. We are due to install somewhere between about 50 and 100 interconnects with those current companies. One of the models we're trying to propagate is pushing distributed server computing out to the edge. It's absolutely difficult in the industry, but it's a good thing. It means that we're actually able to build a distributed server network. So we're continually looking at ways to find more and more space for our ISP partners so that we can build upon those relationships and find more and more interconnect POPs. Those current distribution agreements probably have a total of 500 points of presence that we could connect to as long as space was available immediately. So, and what we're trying to do, we have about a funnel of another 75 other prospects that we're trying to get deals done with, and we're really now going for the largest providers in the United States and in the world. So our list to date of those 20 contracts probably is your biggest Tier 2 providers and some of the smaller Tier 1 providers.
Who do we have right now?
Our current list reads like Vario, RCN, Epic Internet, NorthPoint, Internap, GTE, Internetworking, FlashNet, PDQ.net, and there's about 10 to 12 others. RMI comes to mind, GST Telecom, Electric Lightwave. Most of the companies I mentioned are public corporations, falling in about the 100 million to 800 million revenues, with the exception being GTE. They're about a $20 billion a year company, but very compelling 5 to 10 year life cycle internet service provider or CLEC companies.
And now what are you going to do?
What are we going to do next year? Next year is continuing to build on that current distribution base. We need more and more partners like we currently have. And then we need some deals with some real industry staples, like some of the RBOCs that we're chasing. Yeah, sorry, and RBOC is a regional Bell operating company, also known as Bell Atlantic, Pac Bell, SBC, Bell South, US West, companies like this. We need some agreements with some other large, notable dial-up providers like an AOL or a MindSpring, and we also need some agreements with some large, dedicated cable modem providers, IP providers, possibly like maybe a Roadrunner or a Web TV, or even At Home, although they're sort of a comparable competitor right now.
Can you talk about those guys again and say, just talk about maybe goals for 2000 as far as, I know you said we need to sign them up, we need to do this, but
how many?
Can you maybe say we want to do, we are going to do this?
I'm sorry,
you know
yes.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like in 2000 we are targeting these companies, and I'm excited about it because they're the big players and we're going to get them.
Okay, going into the year 2000, we have 3 goals as I really see it that are very pertinent to us being successful and adding value to Enron. 1, contract some new Tier 1 providers and also work with our current distributors to get about 500 to 750 interconnect points established. So it's going to be a mix of providing more doing more distribution interconnects with our current providers and contracting some new larger providers to get multiple interconnect points also. Our second objective that we really need to meet is to go out and co-market with these companies to promote the use of ePowered MediaCast and the content that we've contracted. Marketing and account management and promotion of these capabilities is very pertinent. And the third is establish some other distribution channels, most notably maybe connecting to some important enterprises, possibly to a university channel is another thing that we're looking at, and probably going to do some deals on here soon. So other means of distribution is probably our third objective.
Okay.
Is that decent, Mike?
That's great.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about the people that are working here. What makes them...
We hold for the helicopter.
Top people, top talent. Who are you working with in here?
Top talent. We are fully staffed with a number of very successful people from the industry. And when I say the industry, I'm referencing the internet, data communications, the software business. We've got a load of people here who have done it before, been successful both financially and with the objectives they had set out for their past companies.
Sorry, we need to do that again.
Yeah, I heard you.
Oh, my bad.
But that was good.
Okay. The talent we have at Enron is very, very exciting. We have a number of people from the software business, from the internet business, from the data communications business, and from the financial markets business that have run successful businesses before and taken them from their infancy through to fruition and help increase value and make money for their company and shareholder value. So we just got a ton of people who have done this before and absolutely know what they're doing.
What's it like to work with people like that?
It's pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting to what?
Well, it's just I feel like I'm feeding off prior knowledge. There's a lot of infusion of good ideas. There are people that know when and where we should or shouldn't do something, what direction should be. It's very exciting to draw upon all that experience.
Perfect answer. What was the first thing that struck you about it?
The first thing that struck me about Enron was, as before, Scott Yeager's incredible stories. So that was the first thing that struck me about Enron, was Scott Yeager's stories and his enthusiasm about building a new business. You asked the first thing, so that was the first thing.
Can you say our management's enthusiasm?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when I first came here, I remember talking to Ted Seitz and talking to Bill Collins and talking to Scott Yeager and talking to Joe Herco and everybody that a year ago when I interviewed and showed up, everybody was just incredibly excited about the business and seemed to know exactly where we were going and what we were trying to achieve, and it was contagious.
Tell me about the vision.
I think the vision is almost Orwellian in a sense. I mean, sooner or later, everybody is going to get multiple types of media over one contraption, one receptacle, one interactive device. And if you step way back and look at it like that, we're in the right business. So we're trying to help make multiple networks and the integration and sort of the proliferation of getting and using media over the same box happen. And if it's anything like the rest of the internet, there's not really a whole lot to analyze. I mean, we're going to make money and we're going to build the right thing.
What's your vision?
Mine for my team, or mine for...
For you, just you, for you.
What am I trying to do?
What are you trying to do?
I am trying to build upon my management skills. I think ultimately I am a very good sales manager and salesperson, and I'm trying to build on my own sales management talent, or just build on my innate skills and try to gain experience and help grow that. I'm also trying to just increase my financial net worth and see success here at Enron. So.
Okay. What about your team? What's your vision for your team?
My team, I think more than anything, I actually everything I just said about myself can be.
We may not use that.
Oh, all right. You probably don't like me saying, "Oh, I want to make money." The yeah, for my team, I think my goals are really to help see them. Do you think it's yeah? That's such a hard question to ask.
I want to hear you say, we're going to do.
Yeah, well, I know, but it's just, I mean, the honest answer is we're all compensated variably a huge way, to get stuff done. So I like seeing everybody make money. So it's real. That's the honest answer. As for, huh? Yeah. Okay. Well, I think for my team, the best thing I'd like to see next year is to get a lot of deals done, to manage accounts very well, and infuse a lot of our marketing goals into these accounts and see distributor customers clicking on content everywhere, and just have the team know every day that they can't wait to wake up in the morning, get up at 6 and come in here at 6:30 and do their job all over again. So, and I'd also like to see our superiors walking down the hall when they refer to distribution, realizing, hey, there goes a team that really does their job and provides a lot of value to Enron.
Now pretend I'm a stock analyst and I'm thinking, the stuff I don't understand, I don't think I'm going to raise the stock price. It's just over my head. What are you going to say to me? How are you going to convince me?
That you're a stock analyst?
Convince me that this is a really good thing and I should go back to New York and raise Enron's stock price.
Right.
Without telling me to do that, of course. Just convince me.
Right. I think as far as shareholder value is concerned, if you look at the way Wall Street is valuating current internet companies and progressive data communications companies, it's all based on futures potential and their ability to pioneer and establish new markets that don't exist. If you look at what Enron is doing, we're absolutely building a network for the next wave of the internet that doesn't even exist. So, and the eyeball metrics and the content metrics, and I think the metrics around the amount of people we can touch and have use our network it's almost infinite and unfathomable. So just the sheer numbers of people that can access our network and utilize our bandwidth, and then if you look at the margins we're going to be able to attain because these services are so value add and it's not just raw bandwidth, it's application oriented. I think we're going to be probably pretty profitable in the foreseeable time frame, after a couple, 2 or 3 years when we get a lot of customers on that network. So we absolutely should be evaluated just like Wall Street is evaluating a number of these companies that we are very similar to when you look at Level 3 and Quest and some of the similar companies in our space.
Anything else? One more Go Enron message.
We got a great business plan. I don't see how it can fail as long as we execute on what we said we're going to do. Everything's going to be fine. Our real goal, I mean, I think our real challenge is to execute on everything we said we're going to do. I don't think the business plan or the vision is lacking in any way, shape, fashion, or form. All we have to do is go execute on it.
And will we?
Absolutely. And we will.
One more time.
And we will.
That was awesome.
Is it convincing?
That's convincing. Industry experience? Anytime.
Okay. I worked at Compaq Computer Corporation and was an original account executive in their first direct program, and we created a whole business around selling direct, most notably to compete with Dell, who was the incumbent 600-pound gorilla in that business. So I was very successful there. Learned a lot about the computer business and the inner workings of a PC. And then I moved on to a company called Metropolitan Fiber Systems, which was to date the most successful competitive local exchange carrier / competitive access provider, which really equates to a compelling competitive company to the regional Bell operating companies. And they were the testament to that is they were bought for a little over $10 billion by WorldCom. And then after working for MFS in a couple of account executive capacities, there, I went to work for a company called Digex, who is now owned by Intermedia Communications, about $1 billion communications company. And Digex is one of the 20 largest ISPs in the United States. And I was a director of biz development and also a senior wholesale account executive. So I sold wholesale IP services to a number of similar telco and internet service provider companies. So that's really the experience I draw upon. 6-7 years of collective sales experience in the data communications and internet service provider company or businesses technology.
Okay. Who are you looking at over here? You looking at Mike? You looking at Al?
Was I not looking at you?
You're dark.
Oh.
You're kind of almost constant.
Oh,
Which one do you
sorry. You want me to do it again?
I was looking
I'm
at
looking at the monitor.
Okay.
You want me to do it
No,
again?
no, don't do it
I
again.
don't think either of us were
It's
looking
all
at
right.
it.
Just don't look at him anymore.
Okay.
Camera.
Tell me anything else you think the audience should know about what's going on here.
Yeah.
Can you say, we talked about some specifics, can you talk specific number of desktops reached today and your goal as Director of Distribution Channels for 2000?
Yeah. You know why that's a touchy subject? Because one of the exciting things about what we've built this year is we've currently deployed an architecture that allows us to reach every internet subscriber in the world for streaming multimedia. So if we're out talking to a content provider and they say, hey, I want to put 100,000 simultaneous streams out on the internet in the 1st of January, can you do it, Enron? I will tell them, yes, we can, and that is absolutely competitive and unprecedented in the market right now. So we've achieved a huge goal as far as eyeball reach out to the internet for streaming media in '99.
That was good.
Outstanding.
That was really good.
That was outstanding.
But see, when you start talking about my high bitrate distribution pops versus all that and the technicalities, one of the things that's really neat, and it's going to give us a huge competitive advantage, I think, because I don't think our competitors have these objectives, but we are absolutely going to achieve the ability to do 2 million simultaneous streams by the end of 2000, and that's unbelievable simply because imagine 2 million people at the same time clicking on one content source. We will really be able to accommodate demand for streaming media in the internet.
Awesome. Tell me why you're excited. Tell me you're excited and tell me
Like
why.
2,500 or 25,000?
Why I'm excited about being in this business?
You're excited and tell me why,
Yeah, I'm excited simply because I'm a junkie for the internet, and there's a reason I'm in this business. It's a group of, to me, Renaissance artists trying to build something. I used the word Orwellian earlier. I think we're building something completely and totally new. It's like being in the railroad business of the 1860s or being in the oil business of the early 1900s. I feel like we're like working for John D. Rockefeller, and we're built. I feel like, what's the guy's name? Jet Rink in the movie Giant. I'm like out there in the middle of Odessa, like trying to like drill the ground, you know. So it's just exciting. We're building something that the world doesn't really have yet, but it wants.
Yeah, I think we got like.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
That was
Except you
solid.
were looking down.
The 2 million eyeballs, or that was.
I'm excited.
Why am I
and
excited?
why.
Okay.
Words you didn't.
Okay. I'm completely excited because the internet business is amazing. I feel like I'm in the railroads of the 1850s and 60s. I feel like I'm in the oil business of the early 20th century or the automobile business. It's like I'm working for Henry Ford and we're building the first assembly line. It's just very, very exciting to work here and build a service like this. And I think mostly the ambiguity of what all this is going to do and how many people are going to use it and how much it's going to affect people's business lives and home lives and how they access media and how they buy things on the internet. It's just going to be very, very exciting. I hope my family and my kids end up using our service and it impacts them in a huge way. So what's there not to be excited about?
Dynamite. Dynamite.